This is the story of how the most anticipated video game trailer of the decade ended up behind a streaming subscription. On August 27, 2026, Rockstar Games premieres Grand Theft Auto VI, an extended look, expected to be our first real gameplay reveal after nearly 3 years of waiting. And it isn't going to YouTube first. Netflix gets it, and for 6 hours, that is the only place anyone can watch. That's the catch. And over the next 20 minutes, I'm going to hand you every confirmed detail, separate the credible leaks from the ones already proven fake, and walk through the pricing fight that turned this into a flashpoint. Before any of that, I want to flag something, because most of the coverage this week is going to skate right past it. Buried in this story, there's a number that I think is the actual story, and it has nothing to do with Netflix, nothing to do with 6 hours, and nothing to do with the trailer at all. Once we reach it, every decision Rockstar has made this year snaps into focus. We'll get there, but let's start with what's confirmed. What's actually confirmed? On August 6, 2026, Rockstar posted the announcement to their official newswire. And I want to read you the operative line directly, because a lot of what's circulating right now amounts to a game of telephone played off this single sentence. Quote, Grand Theft Auto VI. An extended look will premiere on Netflix Thursday, August 27th at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, and will also launch on the official Rockstar Games YouTube channel and the Grand Theft Auto VI site at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on August 27th. Everything anyone needs sits inside that sentence. Netflix carries it at 3 p.m. Eastern on August 27th, and watching it live requires a paid subscription that starts at $8.99. 6 hours later, at 9 p.m. Eastern the same day, it goes up free on Rockstar's YouTube channel and on the official Grand Theft Auto VI website. And that second detail keeps getting dropped from the coverage. As for the content, press expectation puts it around 30 minutes with a single-player focus. I want to be precise here, because plenty of channels are reporting that runtime is confirmed. Rockstar has never stated a runtime, not in the newswire post and not anywhere else. So 30 minutes remains an assumption and nothing more. What everyone does agree on is that this should be our first proper look at GTA 6 gameplay, rather than the cinematic story trailers we've lived on until now. That distinction carries the entire weight of this event. For almost 3 years, we have seen Grand Theft Auto VI, and we have never really watched anyone play it. Why this breaks Rockstar tradition. Understanding why this landed the way it did means remembering how Rockstar has always handled these moments. December 5th, 2023 brought Trailer 1 at 1400 GMT, and the anticipation around it outran anything the industry had produced before. When Rockstar simply posted the announcement that a trailer was coming, that post alone pulled 26 million views in just under 2 hours. Not the trailer itself, just the confirmation that a trailer existed. There's a piece of studio history folded into that date. According to Rockstar's president, the December timing was chosen to line up with the studio's 25th anniversary. So 25 years of Rockstar Games got marked by finally confirming the thing this fanbase had spent years asking about. Trailer 2 followed on May 6, 2025, and Rockstar did the Rockstar thing by giving no advance warning whatsoever. It went live at 1437 GMT plus 1, and the internet stopped for a day. That trailer introduced them properly. Jason and Lucia, caught inside a dangerous conspiracy across the fictional state of Leonida, and Rockstar's own description framed it this way. Quote, Jason and Lucia have always known the deck is stacked against them, and they have to rely on each other more than ever if they want to make it out alive. We watched Jason hauling manual labor, robbing stores, and working out. Then came the moment he collects Lucia from prison, and from there, the whole thing opened into heists, bar hopping, underground fighting, and a plane hijacking. It looked confident and gorgeous, and this is the part that matters. It arrived free and instant for every human being on Earth with a connection, at the same moment. That's the tradition. Rockstar drops it, nobody gets a head start, and the entire community experiences the same thing simultaneously. Trailer 3 breaks that pattern, because for 6 hours, this fanbase gets sorted into people who have Netflix and people who don't. Before anyone decides how angry to be about that, there's some history here that reframes the whole thing. The Netflix deal is older than you think. Anyone whose first reaction was confusion about Rockstar and Netflix having any relationship at all should know they've had one for years. And it's the piece of context I'd most want people carrying into this week. Go back to that same December. 9 days after Trailer 1, on December 14th, 2023, Rockstar dropped the classic PS2-era trilogy of Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas onto Netflix's mobile gaming service for subscribers. The pipeline between these two companies got built almost 3 years ago. An extended look isn't some bizarre one-off pairing. It's an escalation of a partnership that has been running quietly underneath everything else. Netflix's own framing tells you how they see it. Their statement described the partnership as reflecting, quote, what we hope Netflix is becoming, a place where the most ambitious storytelling, from any medium, can find the biggest possible audience. Sit with the phrase from any medium. Netflix isn't describing a video game trailer there. Netflix is describing prestige storytelling that happens to be interactive. And whether that reads as visionary or insufferable probably depends on how you feel about handing them $8.99 this month. Why people are actually angry. The criticism has stayed loud and consistent, and the core objection is simple. This adds an extra hoop to jump through for a video that could sit on YouTube for everyone, exactly like the last two did. Practical worries piled on top, including server load with that many simultaneous viewers, and skepticism about Netflix's track record with high-profile live events. 6 hours is still only 6 hours, which makes the size of the reaction worth explaining. It didn't arrive in a vacuum. It landed on top of a fight that had already been running for 2 months. June 24th, 2026, is when Rockstar confirmed the price, with the Standard Edition at $80 and the Ultimate Edition at $100. Here's the context that gives that number teeth. $80 makes Grand Theft Auto 6 only the second major AAA title to break the traditional $70 ceiling, following Nintendo's Mario Kart World. Xbox had tested $80 pricing earlier and then walked away from it, which means Rockstar isn't following an industry trend. Rockstar is one of 2 companies creating one. Pre-orders opened at midnight local time on Thursday, June 25th, 2026, and anyone ordering before November 20th receives the Vintage Vice City Pack, a set of 1980s-themed items pulled from the franchise's Vice City era. For anyone who's been with this series since the entry set in the 80s, that's a lovely nod. The friction lives in the $100 tier. That edition hands you exclusive in-game vendor access, meaning a specialized car modification shop, an exclusive tattoo parlor, a unique clothing store, and a premium salon. Standard players still reach similar services elsewhere in the world, so the Ultimate vendors are positioned as exclusive inventory rather than exclusive functionality. That's the official framing, and it's what lit the fuse, because fans started asking whether this is an $80 game or a $100 game with an $80 version. By the time August 6th arrived and Rockstar announced a Netflix window, the community wasn't reacting to 6 hours anymore. It was reacting to a pattern, which brings us to the number. The number that explains everything. Here's what I promised we'd reach. On Take-Two's Q1, fiscal 2027 earnings call, held shortly after pre-orders opened, with the quarter closing just 5 days after they went live, CEO Strauss Zelnick delivered this line. Quote, I can say that the level of pre-orders is unprecedented and astonishing, and we're very grateful for that. Unprecedented and astonishing, coming from a chief executive on a recorded earnings call, which is roughly the most legally careful environment a corporate statement can exist inside. Then, on August 11th, 2026, during an interview with CNBC, Zelnick fielded a question about the split between the $80 standard and the $100 Ultimate. His answer ran, quote, actually, it is skewing more to the premium edition. He offered a possible reason too, quote, but that might be a reflection of the fact that the most avid consumers are the ones who are pre-ordering. Notice the hedge there, because he said might. Zelnick never attached a number to it, and 3 days later, on August 14th, somebody else did. Analytics firm Sensor Tower, through analyst Carl Contis, reported that 89% of GTA 6 pre-orders are going to the $99.99 Ultimate Edition, breaking down to 88.5% on PlayStation and 90% on Xbox. Let me be scrupulous about what that figure actually is, because I'd rather be right than loud. That 89% is a third-party estimate from Sensor Tower, not a number Take-Two disclosed, and Sensor Tower's methodology for tracking pre-orders never appeared in the reporting. Treat it as an outside estimate. The context Contis wrapped around it is the part that stopped me. Industry norm for premium edition share runs roughly 10 to 20%, and GTA 6 is reportedly sitting near 90. Sit with that gap for a second. In a normal launch, the deluxe tier takes 10 to 20% of buyers. while this one is estimated at approaching 9 in 10. That isn't a modest outperformance. That's a market behaving in a way the industry has no template for, which is precisely the word Qantas reached for: unprecedented. That single figure explains everything else in this video retroactively. The $80 price, the $100 tier with vendors behind it, and the willingness to park the biggest reveal of the decade behind somebody else's login for 6 hours. When the estimate says 9 out of 10 people reaching for a wallet are reaching for the most expensive option available, the signal traveling back to Rockstar is not that you've pushed too far. It reads as the opposite. It reads as a mandate. 6 hours behind a Netflix subscription stops being a gamble in that world. It becomes a rounding error. The leaks. What's real and what's already dead? Let's clear the air on leaks, because a lot are circulating right now, and some of it is straightforwardly fabricated. I want everyone leaving here able to spot the difference. Start with the one that's already dead. On August 13th and 14th, a screenshot went viral claiming to show a Netflix Portugal listing that split an extended look into 3 separate episodes running 23 minutes, 24 minutes, and 18 minutes. It spread fast, and plenty of outlets ran it as a confirmed 3-part series. The whole thing was fake, and the way it got caught is genuinely great work. The tell sat in the page layout because on the fake, the episodes section appeared below the more details section, while the real Netflix interface always displays episodes above more details. Whoever built it had the order backwards. Once people looked closer, it collapsed entirely. A skeptic demonstrated he could rebuild a more convincing version of the same fake in roughly 2 minutes using nothing but browser developer tools. Not one other person had captured that Netflix Portugal page while it was supposedly live, so corroboration sat at 0, and Netflix guards unreleased content aggressively as a company that doesn't leak its own tentpole shows. Nobody has ruled out a multi-part format, and remember, Rockstar never stated a runtime at all. That particular screenshot still failed verification checks that should have been obvious, and it got passed around by people who wanted it to be true. Hold on to that over the next 11 days, because more are coming. The second leak is more interesting and demands more care. On August 11th, YouTuber Hip Hop Gamer made a series of claims about the gameplay of GTA 6. According to those claims, the game feels completely different from GTA 5, driven by upgraded artificial intelligence and new interaction systems. Stealing, entering, and exiting vehicles would run far more involved than previous entries, with detailed animations for opening doors and adjusting seats. Jason and Lucia would actively collaborate during missions, reaching well beyond GTA 5's character switching. The world would generate fresh gameplay possibilities through environmental events. Controls would supposedly stay tight enough to appeal to an esports audience this franchise has never targeted, and PlayStation 5 would receive extensive DualSense integration. Here's the honest assessment. Hip Hop Gamer isn't an established leaker with a track record on Rockstar information, and he supplied no documentation for any of it. The one thing lending these claims weight is that they loosely align with patents Take-Two filed in June, and loosely is doing real work in that sentence. Soft correlation isn't verification, so file it under interesting if true and let August 27th settle it. One thing almost certainly won't appear in the extended look. In early August, journalist Jason Schreier reported that Rockstar doesn't plan to discuss GTA Online for GTA 6 anytime soon, reporting that's since been picked up broadly. No official multiplayer details exist right now. No name, no structure, no timeline. With the showcase expected to focus on single player, anyone holding out for that specific announcement is likely to walk away disappointed. The thing nobody is talking about. That's the case for the prosecution. $80, a $100 tier with vendors behind it, a trailer parked behind somebody else's subscription, and a company reading an 89% premium edition estimate as permission. Now, let me hand you the fact that complicates all of it, because I haven't seen anyone lead with this, and I think it's the most revealing detail in the entire story. There is no early access tier. Consider what that means. Rockstar is sitting on one of the most valuable commodities in entertainment right now, which is being first into Grand Theft Auto 6. Early access windows function as a standard anchor feature of expensive editions across this industry, and Rockstar owns an audience where an estimated 9 out of 10 buyers already choose the premium version. The demand was demonstrably there, and they could have charged for it. They didn't sell it. Preload begins November 12th, 2026, 1 week ahead of launch, and then every player, on every edition, at every price point, launches simultaneously on November 19, 2026, across PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S. Nobody can buy their way into that world 1 minute sooner than the person who paid the least. Hold those two facts next to each other, because they genuinely refuse to resolve. This is a company that will park a trailer behind a paywall for 6 hours and charge $100 for access to a tattoo parlor, while declining to sell the one thing people would probably have paid the most for. I don't read that as a contradiction. I read it as Rockstar showing you exactly where the line got drawn. Everything around the game stays fair game for monetization, meaning the marketing, the cosmetics, the vendors, and the access to the announcement itself. The launch stays equal for everybody, and whatever anyone thinks of the pricing, they protected the one thing that would have fractured this community permanently. The road here. Quick context on why August 27th carries this much weight, because this fanbase has genuinely been through it. Trailer 1 arrived December 5th, 2023, announcing a broad 2025 window. May 2nd, 2025, brought the first delay along with the first specific date of May 26, 2026, and 4 days later, Trailer 2 dropped. That combination of a firm date plus a stunning trailer is when a lot of us finally believed it was real. November 6, 2025, ended that feeling. The second delay landed, and May 26th became November 19th, 2026. Rockstar's statement ran short, and I want you to hear it in full because it's the most direct thing they've said to this community across the entire campaign. Quote, "We are sorry for adding additional time to what we realize has been a long wait, but these extra months will allow us to finish the game with the level of polish you have come to expect and deserve." That's the whole explanation, and they never elaborated on it. 2 public delays, a vague 2025 window that became May 2026, that became November 2026, and across nearly 3 years, we've received 2 cinematic trailers and a price tag with no gameplay attached to any of it. That's why this isn't the third entry in a series of teasers. It's the first time Rockstar has been willing to show us the thing actually working. The ending. So let's land this. Grand Theft Auto 6, an extended look premieres Thursday, August 27th, 2026 at 3 p.m. Eastern on Netflix, with a subscription starting at $8.99, and it goes free at 9 p.m. Eastern the same day on Rockstar's YouTube channel and the official GTA 6 site. 6 hours, and that's the catch, which honestly is the entire catch. A paywall with an expiration timer. Which is why I don't think 6 hours is what anyone is actually upset about. Nobody's life gets meaningfully harmed by waiting until 9. What people are reacting to is a precedent. The idea that the biggest game in the world just demonstrated the reveal itself can be an asset you sell, while every publisher in the industry watches how it goes. The anger isn't about 6 hours, it's about what 6 hours becomes on somebody else's game next year. Here's the uncomfortable part, the thing I've been circling this entire video. If that precedent gets set, we helped set it. Not Rockstar, not Netflix, not Strauss-Zelnick, but us. The estimate says 89% of pre-orders went to the $100 edition against an industry norm of 10 to 20. The announcement that a trailer existed once pulled 26 million views in under 2 hours. A CEO stood on an earnings call and described demand for this game as unprecedented and astonishing. And he wasn't inflating it for shareholders. He was describing us. Zelnick's own theory for the premium SKU put it on the most avid consumers being the ones who pre-order. And that's this audience. That's the people watching this video. And that includes me. Rockstar didn't discover we'd tolerate this. We told them, in the only language a publicly traded company reads. And yet the early access thing still sits there, refusing to fit the story. A company purely extracting would have sold the head start, because it's the easiest money on the table and they left it sitting. Whatever this is, it isn't simple greed, and anyone selling you that clean a narrative this week is flattening something far more interesting. Here's where I actually land. August 27th is a test, and I don't mean a test of Rockstar. 6 hours costs us almost nothing, which makes it a completely painless way for an industry to learn what we'll accept, and the result gets measured whether we participate or not. Enormous Netflix numbers deliver one answer. Everyone shrugging and waiting until 9 delivers a different answer. Both are data, and there's no version of the 27th where nobody is counting. So the thing I'd actually put to you isn't whether the paywall is outrageous. It's whether we still have standing to complain after 89%, after 26 million views on an announcement, after 3 years of proving we'll wait through anything. Or whether we handed that standing away somewhere around the second delay when we all pre-ordered the $100 edition anyway. I have my answer, and I'm genuinely not certain it's the right one. Tell me yours, and be honest about which edition you pre-ordered, because that's kind of the whole point. 11 days from now, the extended look goes live, and November 19th brings the game itself to PS5 and Xbox Series X and S. For the first time in nearly 3 years, we finally get to watch it move. I'll have the full breakdown up the moment it's public. See you then. Take care.
Make sure you click the circle to subscribe to my YouTube gaming channel, and make sure you click the box to watch my previous uploads. Take care, and thanks again.